All right, all right. What's up, Dylan?
How we doing?
Great, man. Great, man. We're so glad to have you on the show. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Repping my LSU Tigers.
Hey, there we
There you
go.
go. There you go.
Already
Already got it on. Already got it on, man. So, Dylan, obviously, we want to ask you some questions. Our people here in the comment section, we're going to have them throw in some questions as well. But we appreciate you taking this time. I want to recap just a little bit, Dylan. This past season with Creighton, you had a fantastic year. I mean, past two seasons, you're Big East Pitcher of the Year 2 years in a row. This past season, you're 8-2, got a 2.81 ERA, 93 innings pitched, and 115 strikeouts. Dylan, can you tell us what this past season, what you've been doing? I mean, is this years of hard work, or did you just catch fire in your arm? I mean, what you been doing up there in Creighton?
No, for sure. So last year I was a draft eligible sophomore.
Yeah.
Had a good spring, but the draft didn't work out or anything, and I guess I just had like one of two options to kind of like wallow in self-pity or use it as motivation and kind of make this year like a revenge tour. And I feel like I proved a lot of people wrong this spring. And no, I had a blast doing it. I love my time here. Obviously, team-wise, I wish we would have done a little better, but that's how the ball rolls sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan, you at Creighton, you are at the biggest stop in college baseball. I mean, you're in Omaha, Nebraska. And, you know, obviously LSU, they want to get there. They want to get to Omaha. They want to host that title, that College World Series trophy. What went into the process, the decision to make the move from Creighton and make the jump to LSU?
You know, like I weighed my options when I entered the portal and just felt like LSU needed the most like pitching depth, pitching help. That was part of it. Really like what Jay Johnson's doing, and Jason Kelly at the time, who's obviously not here, but I'm actually from Minnesota, so hearing getting wind of the hiring of Wes Johnson actually made me ecstatic. So,
yeah, I mean that was my question. Did you know any about Wes Johnson ahead of time, or was that news to you when it was announced? What does that do for you as a pitcher when you see that caliber of a coach coming in from? I mean, literally, he's a major league pitcher, and I mean that also helps you out when it comes to. I mean, when you're getting ready to get drafted, you know he knows what it takes, right? So, what does that do for your confidence coming into LSU now, knowing that Wes Johnson is going to be here to be your coach?
For sure. It's something that I've talked to Coach Jay Johnson about. Is just like Wes is going to get anything out of me that I haven't gotten out of myself already. So he's going to help me to not leave any stone unturned in my development, whether that's like adding a new pitch, adding velocity, whatever the case might be.
Absolutely.
Dylan, to follow up that question, do you feel like you haven't hit your ceiling yet?
Absolutely not.
That's awesome.
Wow,
another quick question for you, Dylan. Obviously, you've made the commitment. Have you been able to talk with any of the current players, get to know them some, form some relationships?
I haven't really, no. I've been super busy with, like, pre-draft stuff and all of that nature, but, like, just seeing some of them, like, via social media and stuff and connecting that way, I guess, is about all I've done.
Gotcha. So, LSU obviously is historically a huge baseball program. Obviously, I mean, when it comes to pitching, your mind kind of goes to guys like Ben McDonald. You know, me and Zach's age, we also think of guys like Alex Lang, Aaron Nola, so Kevin Gaussman. You know, is there any guys in Jared Poche? Yes. So, is there any guys, pitchers, players that you grew up maybe watching at LSU? Any guys that you kind of like? Wow, I get to go play where they played at now.
I mean, a little bit. I've always been a college baseball fan since I've been like in high school. So the last 6-7 years. So like the the likes of like Alex Bregman and Kevin Gosman, like they're all familiar names, and knowing that they played down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I think Al Landry actually has a question for Dylan. If you'll pop that up there, one of our fans here, Al Landry, got a question for you. He says, Dylan, what was the first conversation with Jay like?
Oh man, it was probably 20 to 30 minutes after I entered the portal. All in on getting me down there and just describing kind of what it's like down in Baton Rouge, like playing baseball. Obviously, words can only do so much justice, but no, he seems like a great guy, great coach, and obviously he's all in on making this thing happen this year.
Absolutely. Zach, you got anything for him?
So, Dylan, I mean, man, they're getting a lot of guys in. How much of that and knowing that you're coming into now that y'all know who y'all have got and like the likelihood of y'all getting more pitchers in the bullpen, how much does that mean to you knowing that you get to go there and you get to compete a little bit for a weekend rotation?
No, for sure, it's exciting. It seems like almost every day that not even just a pitcher, but just a new player, like the likes of like All-American caliber are committing to LSU. So
yes,
every time I see that, it makes me more and more excited to be able to compete against the best.
So
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
They're getting studs left and right.
And I mean, just speaking from not even an LSU perspective, but an SEC perspective. I mean, yes, you're competing with the best. I mean, as we've seen the past, 3 out of 4 years, Vanderbilt won, Ole Miss now won, State won last year. So yeah, you're competing with the best of the best. Dylan, we've been bringing guys in, as Zach was saying. You're seeing guys like Thatcher Hurd, Christian Little's coming in. I mean, there's a lot of big names coming in to the portal still. Guys like Hurston Waldrop that LSU fans are kind of drooling at the mouth over. Honestly, Dylan, personally, I think that you're a little underrated, honestly. Like, people are freaking out over Thatcher, Christian Little. You were the first guy out of the portal to be, to come into LSU. You were the number one guy. And so now all these other names are popping up. And honestly, personally, I think that you're kind of underrated when it comes to this now transfer portal that's coming in, because of the, guys like Christian Little's coming from a team like Vanderbilt. Thatcher Hurd's coming from UCLA, out in LA. What is that for you personally? Does that give you any kind of motivation to come in here and kind of prove yourself? Which honestly, I'm when I saw you were announced, I went and looked your stats up and I was like, holy smokes, this dude won Big East Pitcher of the Year 2 years in a row, 93 innings pitched, 115 strikeouts. This guy may be the biggest name we get. Like, he may come out here and perform. But what does that mean for you?
No, for sure. I mean, obviously, being at Creighton, we're a mid-major, so I feel like that has something to do with it. But it's not anything that I haven't dealt with my whole career, honestly. It's just being kind of overlooked, underrated. I'm from a super small town, so I was always told, like, what I can and can't do. But, no, I love it. It fuels me, and it's something I use to drive my everyday work.
Absolutely. So, Dylan, again, we appreciate you joining in and answering our questions. I got one more question for you. I don't know if Zach maybe has a follow-up question or not, but so obviously baseball, it's your thing. Zeke, hush. Sorry, my son's sitting right here next to me. Obviously baseball is your thing, right? I mean, you're coming to LSU. What is one thing outside of baseball, to get maybe a little bit more personal outside of baseball, that you love to do? What's a hobby, a thing you like to do outside of baseball?
As of late, I've actually, me and my girlfriend have got into hiking a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a super incredible, mental getaway. So that's it.
Well, I know some good hiking spots. Me and my wife actually were in Pocahontas, Arkansas, in this place called Shady River Getaway. So if you ever want to go to Shady River Getaway, they got some great hiking spots. And I know Zach knows some spots in Conway, Arkansas, too. What is it called? Pinnacle Mountain?
Pinnacle Mountain, and Pigeon. No, there's two of them over there that are really good hiking spots. Two mountains.
Yeah. Hiking. A little different. Last night Pineda told us golfing. Honestly, I cannot put up with golfing. Golfing would make me like really frustrated and angry. So for you, hiking, I feel like that's a little bit more my route, because I can like kind of take a hike, enjoy the nature around me, God's creation, and be a little bit more at peace. So Dylan, we're just boys from Arkansas and Mississippi. Is it Tebrake? How do you pronounce the last name?
I mean, it gets butchered all the time, so but it's Tebrake.
Okay, Tebrake.
Tebrake.
Yes.
Wow. I would have never guessed that. I think Al has one more question, and then we'll let you go. What you say, Zach?
Well, I was about to say, you're going to Louisiana, so it's going to be Tebrake. That's what it's going to be. You got to put the EAU in there somewhere. So that's probably how it'll get pronounced some in Louisiana. Al Landry said, "What about fishing? Are you into fishing, Dylan?"
So I actually grew up on a lake, but never really got into fishing. I was more so into like water sports and stuff like that on the lake.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. Dylan, I got one more question for you, and then we'll probably let you go. You're not at LSU right now. You said you've been kind of getting ready, pre-draft stuff for the summer. What's the timetable for that? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're extremely excited to get there and to get to work. What's the timetable for you in getting to Baton Rouge?
So obviously, draft is in about 2 weeks here. Gonna weigh my options there, see what happens, and then it'll be a quick turnaround. If that doesn't work out, then I'll be down in Baton Rouge almost immediately.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely. Hey, Dylan, again, we appreciate you joining in, taking your time. If you would give your Twitter handle, Instagram handle, whatever it may be, all these LSU fans, I'm sure they'd love to go follow you.
Yes. Do you want me to type it in here?
Or just say it. Just say it out loud.
Either way.
Either way.
I'll type it in here since I don't know if anyone knows how to spell my name.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just at Dylan Tebrake. Cool deal.
There you go.
Tebrake. Oh my gosh, I butchered it. Man, brutal. He just told me. Dylan Tebrake. Hey, we appreciate you joining in, man, answering all our questions. It's been fantastic. Look, we're really looking forward to what you do as a Tiger, and of course, best of luck in the draft, man. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Take care, guys.